Welcome back to Kind Tales, where every story carries a heartbeat of kindness, faith, and spiritual awakening. Before we begin, please remember to subscribe, like, and share this video. Your support helps us spread more stories that heal, inspire, and bring light to hearts that need it most. Now, take a deep breath. Let this story touch your soul. It was a quiet afternoon. Rain whispered softly against the glass of a little cafe at the corner of a lonely street. Inside sat Amara, a young woman whose eyes had forgotten how to sparkle. She stared at her cup of coffee as if it held all the questions she didn't have answers to. She once believed in love, the kind that heals, the kind that makes you feel seen. But somewhere along the way, life grew heavy. The person she loved left. Dreams she held dear shattered. And faith, that once bright flame, dimmed into silence. "I don't deserve love," she whispered to herself. The words trembled like the rain outside, soft but full of sorrow. She said them not to anyone, but to herself, to the emptiness that had become her companion. Across the cafe, Eli sat quietly, a man with kind eyes and the calm presence of someone who understood pain. He noticed her, not out of curiosity, but recognition. He had once carried that same emptiness. When Amara rose to leave, her scarf slipped to the floor. Eli picked it up gently and said, "You dropped this." She turned, her tired eyes meeting his. "Thank you," she murmured, ready to disappear again. But Eli smiled softly and said, "Cold day, isn't it? Sometimes, a warm drink helps." She nodded, hesitant. He didn't push further. Instead, he spoke a sentence that stopped her in her tracks. "Sometimes, warmth doesn't come from coffee," he said. "It comes from someone reminding you that you still matter." Amara froze. The word struck something deep within her. "What if I don't?" she asked quietly. "What if I don't matter anymore?" Eli looked at her. Not with pity, but with understanding. "Then let me show you that you do." Over the following weeks, they began to meet often in that same cafe. Sometimes they talked for hours. Sometimes they sat in silence. But it was a different kind of silence, not empty, but peaceful. Eli never asked too many questions. He simply listened. And somehow, in that quiet presence, Amara's broken pieces began to breathe again. One evening, she told him everything. About her heartbreak, her guilt, her fears. Tears rolled down her face as she whispered, "I hurt people who cared. I pushed everyone away. I can't forgive myself." Eli listened patiently, then said something she would never forget. "You think forgiveness is something you have to earn," he said gently. "But real love doesn't wait for perfection. It finds you in your mess and reminds you that you're still worthy. Even God doesn't love us because we're perfect, He loves us because we're His."